Hello, boys and girls. It's me, Miss Mahoney, here in the music room. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you so I can show you what it is we are doing today. So let me open up the share tray. And let me start my slideshow. All right, here we go. Hopefully you can see some snow on the trees right now. It says, welcome to online music class, grade 1. And it says what we're going to do today. We're starting with the hello song. Then we're going to review some rhythms. Then we're going to do some repeat after me's with rhythms. Then we're going to start learning about musical instruments and their families. And then we'll finish with the goodbye song. But first, let's start with the hello song. I hope you can all see me. There you go. Now you can see me. All right, let's sing the hello song. Today I'm using a red ukulele. That sounds good. Now it's time to say hello, say hello, say hello. Now it's time to say hello, hello class. Hello, hello, how are you? Hello, hello, how are you? Now it's time to say hello, say hello, say hello. Now it's time to say hello, hello class, hello class, hello class. Alrighty, let's get back to our screen. Okay. Everyone should be able to see the trees again with the snow. Let's go to the next page. So let's look at some rhythms. We have 2 on the screen right now. The first one is called, do you remember? Ta. A ta has 1 note head, 1 circle. So it makes 1 sound. Ta. Just 1. Ta. The one next to it has 2 circles on the bottom, 2 note heads. So it's going to make 2 sounds. We call it TT. TT. 2 sounds. If you clap it, it sounds like this. TT. Ta and TT. Ta makes 1 sound, so it has 1 head. TT makes 2 sounds, so it has 2 heads. Now, look at these rhythms. The first one has 4 note heads, 4 circles on it. How many sounds do you think it's going to make? That's right, it's going to make 4 sounds. So we call it teary, teary. 1, 2, 3, 4. Teary, teary. If you clap it, it sounds like this. Teary, 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 teary. 4 sounds, 4 circles. And then the last one looks kind of like a squiggly line or a lightning bolt. That note is called a rest. And when we see a rest, it means we don't make any sound at all. A rest is a beat of silence. So it sounds like this. See? No sound at all. That is a rest. When you use a rest, you rest your sound. There's no sound. So now we're going to try a couple of rhythms together. Actually, it's more like a lot of rhythms. I would like you to please find something to play rhythms with. I'm getting my 2 rhythm sticks so I can tap them together. If you want to go find something to tap together, you can get spoons or pencils or, I don't know, anything that you can tap together, 2 things. Go ahead, go in your house and find something with 2 things. You can pause the video and then hit play again when you come back with your 2 things to tap. If you can't find anything to tap, that's okay. You have 2 hands that you can clap together. Or if you have a table in front of you, you can tap on that. So go ahead, find something to tap with, and if you don't have anything to tap with, then just use your hands. Is everybody ready? Do you have your rhythm sticks or whatever else? Do you have your tappers? Let's call them tappers. Does everybody have a tapper? All right, remember, you can still use your hands. Let's tap out some rhythms together. All right, let's look at the first one. The first note is a ta. Then we have a ta. Then these 2 together is a ti, and then a ta. I'm going to tap it twice, and then I want you to tap it twice. Ready? I go first. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta. Now your turn. Good. Next one. I tap first, you repeat. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta. Now your turn. Do it twice. Very good. Moving on. Look at this one. What comes first? I will tap it 2 times, then you tap it 2 times. I go first. Here we go. Ti, 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 ta, ta. Ti, 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 ta, ta. Now your turn. Tap it twice. Very good. Next one now. Look at this one. Just a little bit has changed. I'll go first 2 times. Ta, ti, 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 ta. Ta, ti, 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 ta. Now your turn. Tap it twice. Next one, here we go. I'll go first 2 times. Ti, 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 ta. Ti, 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 ta. Now your turn. Play it twice. Here we go. Next one. Freeze. This one has a rest at the end. Look at that squiggly line. So when we get to the rest, we're not going to tap our sticks together because a rest means no sound. Since this is our first one with a rest, let's do it 4 times. I'll play it 4 times first, then you tap it back to me 4 times. I go first. Ta, ti, ti, ta, rest. Ta, ti, ti, ta, rest. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Rest. Now your turn 4 times. Don't tap on the rest. Here we go. How did you do? Did you remember to keep quiet on the rest? No tapping or speaking on the rest. Let's try another one, another rest. I go first 2 times. Ta, rest. Ti, ti, ta. Ta, rest. Ti, ti, ta. Now your turn 2 times. Quiet on the rest, and here you go. Good job. Next one. Here we go. There's a rest at the end. I go first. Ti, 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 ta. Rest. Ti, 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 ta. Rest. Your turn. Here we go. Excellent. Next one, 2 rests. I go first. Ti, ti, ta. Rest, rest. Ti, ti, ta. Rest, rest. Now your turn. Don't tap on the rests. 2 times. Here you go. Nice job. Keep it going. Oh my. This one starts with a rest, so we do not play on the rest. I'll start 2 times. Rest. Ti, 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 ta. Rest. Ti, 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 ta. Your turn. Play it 2 times. Don't trip up on the opening rest. Ready, and here we go. Rest. Ti, 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 ta. Rest. Ti, 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 ta. Next one. Oh boy, we have a teary-teary. Teary-tearies come very fast. Listen and repeat after me. Ta, ta, teary, teary, ta. Ta, ta, teary, teary, ta. Your turn 2 times. Good job. Remember, teary-tearies have 4 dots, 4 circles, 4 heads, so they make 4 sounds. So when you tap out a teary-teary, your sticks or whatever it is you're using have to tap 4 times. Teary-teary. Listen to it again. Ta, ta, teary-teary, ta. Tap them out 4 times. All right, here's another one with a teary-teary. I'll go first 2 times. Teary, teary, ti, 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 ta. Teary, teary, ti, 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 ta. You go next 2 times. All right, next one. I go first 2 times. Ti, ti, ta, teary, teary, ta. Ti, ti, ta, teary, teary, ta. You try it 2 times. Next one. Here we go. I go first 2 times. Ti, 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 teary, teary, ta. Ti, 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 teary, teary, ta. Your turn twice. Here we go. Very good. Oh my, look at all those teary-tearies fly. I'll go first, you go second, 2 times. Here we go. Teary, 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 ta. Teary, 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 ta. Your turn. Tap them all. All right. Next one has 2 rests on beat 2 and 1. So quiet on those rests, no sound. I'll go first for 2 rounds. Rest, rest, teary, teary, ta. Rest, rest, teary, teary, ta. Your turn. Don't tap on the rests. 2 times. Do your best. Rest, rest. Good job. Here we go. Another one. I'll go first. Teary, teary, tee, tee, teary, teary, ta. Teary, teary, tee, tee, teary, teary, ta. Your turn. Tap it twice. Very good. And we're done. Yay! Great job. Excellent, excellent, excellent rhythm work. You can put your tappers down, or your clappers, or your hitters, or sticks, spoons, forks, whatever you tap your rhythms with, you can put them down. Now, we're going to talk about instrument families. Because this is music class, it's time for us to learn a little bit about musical instruments. And today we're going to talk about the instruments of the orchestra. So, there are lots of different kinds of instruments out there. Some of them that you blow into, some of them that you play on the strings, some of them that you hit or shake to play. And we group those instruments into groups called families. We sort those instruments into different families. The instruments in each group have things in common. That's why they're called families. The 4 instrument families are string, woodwind, brass, and percussion. And today we're going to learn about those instruments. The orchestra is what you get when you put all 4 instrument families together to play music. The person who stands at the front and leads them and directs the musicians is called the conductor. You can see here's a picture of a, whoopsies, went too far. Here's a picture of a conductor. She's holding a stick called a baton. And then in this picture where there's a group of musicians, the conductor is standing on a red step so that the musicians can see him. Now, when an orchestra plays music on a stage, they don't just sit wherever they want. They have a special order. The quietest instruments play in the front, closest to the conductor, and the loudest instruments play in the back, farthest away. The string family is the quietest. They sit in the front. The woodwinds are a little bit louder than the strings, so they sit behind them. The brass family is very loud, so they sit behind the woodwinds near the back. And then the percussion family is the loudest family, so they sit in the way back. They sit that way because if we had the loudest group in the front, then you wouldn't be able to hear the other instruments. So they have to sit in a special order. Let's learn about the string family. The string family is pretty easy to remember because all of the instruments in the string family have strings on them. Most of them are made out of wood. To play a string instrument, you can either pluck the strings or strum them, or you can use a long stick called a bow to slide across the strings and make the music. You may notice that there are only 5 instruments in this family picture. There are other string instruments in the world, like the guitar and the ukulele and plenty of others, but they don't play in the orchestra. The string instruments that play in the orchestra are the violin, the viola, which looks just like a violin, but it's a teeny tiny bit bigger, the cello, and the bass. Bass is huge. And then the harp. Let's listen to some of these instruments.
String family, violin.
Here is a violin. The violin is the smallest and the highest. It makes the highest, squeakiest sounds because the smaller an instrument is, the higher notes it plays. Listen to the violin. Notice he is holding the bow, that's that long stick to play across the strings, and he plays it by tucking it under his chin. That is the violin. The next one is the viola, and it is played the same way. But it's a little bit lower because it's a little bit bigger.
Viola.
Our next instrument is the cello, which is much bigger than a violin or a viola, so it plays lower. To play a cello, you have to sit down and hold it out in front of you.
Cello.
See how they're all sitting down and holding it in front of them? That's how you play a cello. The next one is the bass, sometimes called the upright bass, the string bass, or the double bass. It is very, very big, so it plays very, very low. You have to stand up to play it, and in fact, it's taller than me. It's about 6 feet tall.
Bass.
And lastly, the harp. The harp has 47 strings on it. If you can believe it, the other instruments we've seen only have 4, but the harp has 47 strings on it and 7 foot pedals to help change the sound. Listen to the harp.
Harp.
And those are the instruments of the string family. Now, let's talk about the brass family. The brass family has instruments that are all made out of brass. Brass is a type of metal. It usually looks gold in color, but sometimes it can be silverish too. All brass instruments have a round mouthpiece that you blow into. Except you don't blow into it like you're blowing out a birthday cake candle. You do something called buzzing, which is very, very silly. You hold the mouthpiece to your mouth, and then you have to make this sound into the mouthpiece. Ready? Listen. Yep. You have to make a farting sound into the mouthpiece in order for the instrument to play. And you press down buttons called valves. Or if it's the trombone, you move the slide up and down. So we have the trumpet, the French horn, which is kind of shaped like a circle, the trombone, which is very long and has that slide, and then the tuba, which is very, very, very big. Let's listen to these instruments.
The brass family. These instruments are made of brass and use a mouthpiece to make the sound. Trumpet.
Remember, the trumpet is the smallest one, so it makes a high sound. Trumpets were used back in the day when kings would go hunting. These were used as hunting horns. Take a listen.
French horn.
The French horn is shaped like a circle, and it is very hard to play because the mouthpiece is so tiny, it's hard to get all of that air through. You also have to put your hand inside the horn part, which is called the bell, to help play the music. I think the French horn sounds a lot like a trumpet, but like it's chewing on something. A trumpet with marbles in its mouth. Try talking with your mouth full. Listen to the French horn.
Trombone.
The trombone is big. You hold it on your shoulder and blow in here in the mouthpiece, and then your arm moves the slide down and back up to change the notes.
Tuba.
Tubas are very, very big. They have a big mouthpiece and they weigh over 50 pounds. They are very heavy. They play very low notes. And those are the brass instruments: trumpet, trombone, French horn, and tuba. Next week, we will learn about the woodwind family and the percussion family. Today we learned about the string family and the brass family. All right. So that is all for today. Now it is time for us to sing the goodbye song. So make sure you're singing nice and loud, and I'll see you next time. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye, goodbye class. Goodbye, goodbye, see you later. Goodbye, goodbye, see you later. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye, goodbye class, goodbye class, goodbye class. Goodbye, boys and girls. I will see you next time.